Welcome back to coverage of the Advanced Warfare Pro League Season 3. Mr. X, Jack here. Going to be Drift Hardpoint to kick this series off. It's going to be Orbit versus Denial. Jack, we both thought this probably would be the closest series of the night.
Yeah.
Now after that Phase 3-0 of Rise, really think this one has the opportunity to be a pretty close one.
Oh, absolutely. Things to look out for Drift Hardpoint. One is that the last time Orbit played this, they lost this game mode 250 to 131 to Epsilon. Epsilon obviously 0-3, so not the toughest team, and then they lost that one as well. So gonna need to see them pick things up here. They do not want to go down 0-1 to Denial, but when you have Temp, Slasher, and Hook on the same team, that is definitely a tall order.
Oh yeah, I'm on board with Temp. He's going to be putting down some shots with the AR at a distance, just trying to lock down this right-hand side of the map. You see he's just trying to keep this player across in the mall at bay. He's able to pick off accuracy across map. It's going to be Denial starting things off here, getting control of the hill though. Temp, he's going to be challenged by a player on Orbit, so Orbit going to take it right back. That was actually Vicento able to jump in there, take it up, trying to go on board with Vicento. He's actually going to take out another player in the hard point. So we talked a lot about it a little bit on the ESR. You know, it's so early in this game. It's going to be Orbit taking the lead, but Vicento, he's really been kind of the difference maker for Orbit on respawn game modes. Like, I think, you know, him and accuracy, they really kind of share the shot calling roles, and you know, more accuracy for respawn. But Vicento's done a nice job in the slaying department. He's actually going to turn on that one player there, but it's going to be taking the hill back. If Vicento plays well in respawn game modes, this Orbit team can definitely shock Denial.
Typically, people say all the time, you know, the first hill on hardpoints is so scrappy, you don't really have anyone stay alive inside of it for more than 3, maybe 4 seconds. There, Vicento stayed alive for 40 seconds. He was killing people from high side, he was killing people from low side, spinning around, finding players in the sight lines, able to pick them up. Great start there for Orbit, up 35 to 12, but hill control going to Denial.
Yeah, Happy was on top of the building, just trying to scout it out and make sure nobody going to stop his SMGs from pushing up, but he's going to get cut down. Everybody from Orbit going to drop. It's going to be Hook in the hill for this Denial squad. I think Denial, you know, they're currently undefeated in the league, Jack, but I think going into UMG this weekend, I think they still kind of, I don't want to say they have a lot to prove, but a lot of people just don't believe in the makeup of this team.
I'll be honest with you, Matt, it's a massive weekend for this team strictly because Temp as well as Hook aren't old enough to play at events like Gfinity. Like, there's not many yet, so they typically don't have as many opportunities as the other guys to play on LAN. So it's been said time and time again, there was a 5-month break for some of these players from the one UMG event back in January to the second UMG event out in California in May. They're just finally getting back into the swing of things of LAN events, and now 2 months later since the last UMG, these are their big LANs, so they need to step up and go huge this weekend.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think you will see, you know, Temp and Hook have a pretty big weekend. I think, you know, they both had a good X Games. I would say both of their teams, I don't want to say they underperformed. I mean, they get second and third, but I think just the way those teams expected to look and play at that event, it wasn't as easy as they both thought it would be. Yeah.
I think it's the perfect way to put it. Right now, though, back to the game, 73 to 50 lead, so where the first hard point was basically won because of Vicento staying alive. Since then, they've only gotten 9 seconds, while the boys on Denial have completely run away with things as you move towards the back office hard point. You can see inside the station building, the different signs you can hide behind, so crucial. Also, the players should begin to push from the back snow area, going to try to flank in early control, going to Orbit, though, as they try to mount this comeback.
Yeah, I'm on board with accuracy as he's going to be in the hill with the Ball. He's going to have one player challenging from the front. That was Slasher. He's going to be able to win that. Temp challenging from the back. Not going to be able to win that one. Replay is going to dive into the hill. He's going to get dropped. Vicento in the hill for Orbit. He's going to get dropped, and it looks like Denial able to take control of that one.
On my team that I picked for the Vulcan matches tonight, I had Accuracy, who's leading the Orbit team in slaying, and Burns, who was, at that moment where I was just looking at this, the lowest in slaying. So really hoping to see Burns begin to pick things up. They're going to need him to try to come back into this hard point, because you know all the players on Denial are going to be slaying. Replays in the position that you expect them to be in, 9 of 13, most captures. If they can continue to do this, Denial should take home game number 1.
Yeah, I think if you're Orbit, you really kind of look at Happy. I mean, he's on your screen right now. He's 10 and 10, kind of playing that, you know, post AR role. You want him to play at a distance, you know, pick up those kills from range. But you'd expect that player to have like a high amount of kills and then a low amount of deaths, or be kind of negative, to be honest. And to sit at 11 and 11, you're playing passive, but you're not picking up tons of kills, and then you're not really going near the hill. So kind of, you need to figure out
his impact isn't enough right now.
Right. Yeah, he needs to have a bigger impact on the game.
Yeah, like it could be different if the reason why he's dying a little bit extra is because he's getting himself in aggressive positions where he maybe covers a spawn for his team and makes a difference. But right now, instead he's just kind of playing more passively, and instead of just winning each gunfight and clearing these lanes against the ASM1s, he's just finding himself in awful positions where he hasn't really helped his team enough to make his impact felt. And that really reflects in the score as Denial's up by 40 seconds.
I mean, look at Hook's score compared to Happy, right? I mean, Happy 15 and 12 on a 4 streak now. Hook was on a 6 streak, but 22 and 13, and he's got more caps.
And
so,
look where he is right now, in the middle of his hard point.
Right.
Finally gets taken down.
So, I mean, that's the kind of play you would want out of Happy. You kind of want, if I was Orbit, I would just tell Happy, hey, watch the way that Hook plays and just do the same exact thing. I think Happy probably a little bit more aggressive than Hook, but still, I think you can replicate that play.
And this is what we spoke about earlier on in regards to the aggressive playmakers from Zuma and Attach, who are like kind of your entry killers who can open up the aggression for your team. Hook does it just as much with the Bow as well, which is really surprising to say the least. Here on Drift, making it happen, one of the newer maps to the Call of Duty competitive scene for this game mode. Obviously, we've seen Drift Search and Destroy since COD Champs, but as this hardpoint begins to move towards bottom kiosk area, it looks like early control is going to go to Denial yet again.
Yep, Happy in a spot to contend for this hill for Orbit, though. Slasher's going to pick up the big 2-piece coming from behind. Happy's going to be able to win that engagement, but you see Hook sitting right outside. He knows that Happy's in there. Happy trying to challenge that. Hook going to win it. And you see, it's going to be Denial able to control this one. Accuracy going to jump in. He's going to challenge. He's going to be able to win one gunfight. Facento picks up another. Now it's going to be Facento with another kill in the kill feed. It's going to be Orbit controlling it, but I feel like Denial is in such control of this game, Jack.
Yeah, up by over a full minute at the moment, but Matt, I gotta point out really quickly, this is my first time ever having the opportunity to cast Detroit Hardpoint and really watch it be fully played, and I'm enjoying it at the moment. This Hardpoint especially looks like the spawns are pretty far out. If you can get control of it and hold down that back street, not only will you predictably get your teammates to spawn up just to the left of you, but you know the enemies are going to have to push all the way through mid-carousel to try to break the hill. And that's why Orbit just fully held this down to bring it back.
Right, Orbit trying to mount the comeback, as you said. Accuracy on a 5 streak, Facento on a 4 streak. Accuracy is gonna make it 6, gonna make it 7.
Oh, gosh.
Accuracy playing very well here to kick off the first map here against Denial. They're gonna need more out of Happy and Burns, though. Burns, we're going forward with him. Really struggling here, 14 and 32.
15 and 33 with the least amount of captures on his team. His overall score is 2650, which is half of accuracy at the moment. Really just not doing anything for his team here. If he was playing to the caliber we know he can play at, in which he had one of the top KDs there all the way back at UMG Orlando back in January, we've seen him be able to perform well through AW. If he could be doing that in this game right now, I think the score would be much, much closer.
Yep, replays on a 5 streak. He's going to be in the hill. Hook currently watching the backside. He's going to be able to pick up 1. Just a dominating performance here by Denial. They're almost going to be up 100 here. You thought Orbit might have been able to bring it back, but just some monster games. I mean, Temp doesn't really even have to do much of anything. I mean, when you have...
He's 19 and 14.
I mean, when you have Slasher going 33 and 28 with an AR, and you have Hook going 34 and 20, I mean, there's really not many kills on the map, especially because replays, you know, he's -1, but still, that's a good score of your replays.
Yeah. And Temp right now, you might think, 21 and 15, what is he even doing for his team? He's just posted up. He doesn't have to change anything because he has Hook, who's the aggressive AR, finding the kills and getting the advantageous positions for his team. And then there's Replays, who is just sacrificing himself to try to get inside this hardpoint and stay alive. 240 to 152 now. And Matt, it looks like the same thing that happened to Orbit earlier on in their matchup up against Epsilon on this map is just towards the end of it, things just really begin to fall apart.
Yeah, they just can't really put together one full, complete game. That's really the issue with Orbit. You see Denial on the hill. They're going to close it down. It's going to be 250 to 154 here in map number 1. Denial going to take this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's predicted. Denial sitting at 2-1, now make it 3-1 in overall hard points so far in Season 3. Really taking that one with ease. Hook, definitely your MVP for game number 1 for The Wolfpack there dropping 37 and 22 with 5 captures. The ball in hand all game long. On the other side of things, Burns just went 15 and 39.
Yeah,
Wow.
Burns really struggled in that one. 15-39, not a good score there in map number 1. You see the scores on your screen yet again. Hook dominating the lobby, 37 and 22. Guys, an animal in hardpoint. It's going to be Denial winning 250 to 154. When we come back from this quick commercial break, we'll have map number 2.